For us at BD, it's really a collaboration with the customers that we serve to really understand the types of experiments they're doing and what their research results are. Every reagent we put out is going to impact science in a way, right? We're enabling discovery, and there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with that. The continuity of care along that process as we transfer that to manufacturing is something that's very near and dear to us. Picking the right antibody and choosing the right antibody that's going to meet the customer's needs. That's where we spend a tremendous amount of effort to ensure that we get the right clone. Knowing what the antibody needs to do from a performance standpoint is very important, and really characterizing that and communicating that very effectively throughout the R&D team and also the manufacturing team. Once we've pick the antibody that we think is going to be the best one, it really comes down to setting those manufacturing requirements, right? What's the QC test? And being very rigorous there to ensure that nothing's going to slip through the cracks. And so we spend a lot of time and a lot of review with our manufacturing partners to ensure that there's no stones left unturned. So it's really developing that assay that is going to ensure that it catches something if it goes wrong.
We make reagents for flow cytometry, which typically uses an antibody and a dye that's attached to the antibody. And the last several years have been spent heavily on new dye development. So trying to enable researchers to understand or get more information out of a particular sample. Being able to develop more dyes allows more parameters, but each of those dyes needs to go through a fairly stringent development process to ensure that it works adequately in flow.
Once it gets into manufacturing, it's ensuring that it is reproducible, right? And so, are those tests working? Is there a lot of lot-to-lot consistency? We put a tremendous amount of effort around examining that.
All of this work is run past what we call several key opinion leaders. Should it be another laser line, and if it is, what kind of laser line could that be? They'd be advising us on performance characteristics of dyes on a particular laser line.
We get customer feedback all the time and key opinion leader feedback all the time, which says, hey, the field needs this antibody. When we do make that antibody, we say, hey, if we're going to make this, will you be willing to test it? And the answer is almost always yes. And so we leverage that relationship to ensure that we're building the best antibody that we can for that particular target.
Customer satisfaction is very important to our business. It's what we strive for with everything we do. When customers are experiencing issues with our products, we will reach out to customers who have an issue with the material and try and get that vial that they're using sent back to me and my team so that we can evaluate that actual material that they were using in comparison to duplicate materials that we can make to demonstrate whether that particular vial that they received is having a problem or everything is working as intended in our hands. We also have field application specialists that can be brought on site and work hand in hand with the customer with their method or their samples to try and resolve it in their laboratory setting. For me personally, working at BD Biosciences means I'm servicing the best customers. I was a researcher at the bench using these exact products. It meant the world to me that I could count on the quality of those for the research that I was doing, for the precious samples that I only had one shot of getting it right on.
It's great when you're able to provide customers with tools, and those tools are used to just do great science.
We understand the importance of high quality and specific reagents that those researchers are going to use, and that's not something we take lightly. So it is our mission to ensure that we're putting the right stuff out there, that it's going to enable the right discoveries the first time.